Early celebrations in sports can be hilarious to watch, but also painful. Imagine someone in a 100-meter sprint at the Olympics celebrating just that 1 millisecond too early. In cycling, this is unfortunately a very common occurrence. From celebrating too early in a bunch sprint to not realizing that the breakaway has already won the stage, these are some of the best premature celebrations that we've found getting increasingly worse as the video goes on. First up, we have Alexei Lutsenko in the 2020 UAE Tour. He was in a heated battle up the iconic Jebel Hafid against none other than Tadej Pogačar. Confident that he had the stage win in the bag, he started celebrating only to realize that Tadej Pogačar hadn't given up and sprinted all the way to the line.
Who got it? Well, Lutsenko was throwing his arms in celebration, but I think Pogačar could well have got that one. That one's going to go all the way to the photograph. What an exceptional finish.
For Lutsenko, that win would have meant a lot more than it did for Pogačar. Instead, it became just another win for the Slovenian. While celebrating early is bad, celebrating when the stage has already been won can be too. There have been occasions in cycling where riders didn't know that the breakaway had won, or their radios had just malfunctioned. Simon Clarke thought he'd won stage 4 of the 2015 Giro d'Italia. As he approached the finish line, Clarke celebrated with gusto, unaware that Davide Formolo had crossed the line only 30 seconds ahead.
Clarke in the sprint for the second place, and I think he's going to do it. Simon Clarke will wear the pink jersey at the end of the day. I think he thinks he's won the stage though.
I think he knew, well, again, he was one of the riders who was very late to get on. Perhaps he didn't realise younger Davide Formolo was up the road and winning.
However, he did get into the pink leader's jersey, so all wasn't bad for the Orica Green H rider.
I just couldn't hold the emotion in that to have been able to take the jersey and keep it in Orica for another day.
However, that couldn't be said for our next rider, Luka Pibernik. He made the classic mistake of getting too into the zone and not realizing that there was one more lap to go. But before we get into that, a quick word from today's sponsor and friend of the channel, Sirocco. If you're looking to upgrade your wardrobe, whether that's your sunglasses, your bibs, your socks, your jerseys, your raincoats, whatever it might be for your cycling needs, Sirocco have got you covered. I've personally been using Sirocco for now over 7 years, and they provided me kindly with a discount for you guys. If you use the code TSL at checkout, you can save extra on your purchase when you head to Sirocco. So again, whether you're looking for sunglasses, bibs, socks, I cannot recommend them highly enough. I've been using them for over 7 years, and it's code TSL at checkout. Click the link down below to claim your discount now. But back to Luka Pibernik. During stage 5 of the 27 Giro d'Italia, Pibernik found himself solo with 7.6 kilometers to go. But in his mind, he was in the final stretch. He fought his way to the line, just holding off the peloton, and he celebrated while the bell rang for the final lap. It's only when the peloton came raging by that he realized he had cemented himself in cycling history by celebrating prematurely.
1 lap to go around. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's won. Dear, oh dear. Luka Pibernik thinks he's won. There's 1 lap to go. Can he not hear the bell? Surely that was a joke.
Leaving the Giro behind, but staying in Italy, we go back in time to 2004 and the monument race of Milano-San Remo. Eric Sabel, a legendary sprinter, was in a 1-to-1 battle with Oscar Freire for the victory at Milano-San Remo. He approached the finish line confident that he'd won the race. He raised his arms in the air, and that's when he realized that Oscar had snuck past him and taken the victory. Imagine losing a race by a tire width after 300 kilometers of racing. Lucky for Sabel, he'd already won the race 4 times prior, so that must have eased the pain a tiny bit. Now it's time for a 2-in-1 from none other than Wout van Aert. First off, he found himself in a tough uphill sprint in the 2020 Criterium du Dauphiné. As he approached the finish line, he thought he'd won the stage, but just as he raised his arms up in the air, he realized that the tiny climber David Gaudu had perfectly timed his bike throw, winning him the race. This made for a hilarious moment where both riders had their arms in the air for 2 completely different reasons.
Wout van Aert celebrates. David Gaudu gets him on the line. That was spectacular. Wout van Aert sits up to take the victory, and David Gaudu sneaks underneath him on the right-hand side.
However, now it's time for Wout van Aert to cause another rider to celebrate too early as well. Jasper Philipsen thought he had secured a stage win at the Tour de France, celebrating with pure joy. But what he didn't see was that Wout van Aert had gone up the road and taken the victory in spectacular fashion. In the heart of the moment, Jasper didn't hear the team radio and he just sprinted like it was a normal finish. However, people on Reddit had other views of the celebration.
Maybe he was just happy being second. I'd be out of this world if I came second in the Tour.
Now back to Italy and the Giro, but this time it's not the Giro d'Italia, but the Giro Rosa instead. Lucy Kennedy was all smiles as she celebrated what she thought was going to be a career-defining win. But unfortunately for her, Marianne Vos had other plans, and she took the victory, causing an epic reaction.
Metri, ancora pochi metri, si volta, non lo deve fare, esulta, non lo doveva fare, ha vinto Marianne Vos, seconda Kennedy, terza Ludwig.
Nothing is worse than celebrating too early in a big race. You've worked so hard to be in the perfect shape, done everything perfectly, tactically, just to get it wrong in the last few seconds. That's unfortunately what happened to Julian Alaphilippe. Alaphilippe had done everything right in the 2020 Liège-Bastogne-Liège.
Alaphilippe goes, had to be, hiding in full view, the world champion stripes, and Kwiatkowski tries to go. Hershey's out of the saddle, he's having a dig as well. Pogacar's there and Roglic also, but Alaphilippe is speeding away. It's the last chance for him.
And as we were heading into the sprint, it looked like he was going to take the win with ease. However, what he did instead of sprinting all the way to the line was showboating and celebrating with roughly 10 meters to go. This was a fatal mistake.
And Alaphilippe, is he going to take it? Oh, I think he may have just lost it on the line. Too busy celebrating, and I think Roglic has stolen this at the very last.
I think at that point Alaphilippe thought he had it won, but Roglic
Here we go.
On the...
Here we go. He's got it.
I think he's got it.
He's got it, and Alaphilippe's arms are now by his side, and he is beside himself.
It's one thing to lose a monument, but there's always one-day classic that stands above all the rest, and that is the World Championship. Our final story takes us to the world of cyclocross, where Adam Tupelik found himself leading the race comfortably as he approached the finish line. He was about to make himself a viral clip forever.
Tupelik is sprinting flat out now to try and keep these Belgians at bay. Oh, no. He thinks he's won. No. No, it's 1 lap to go. It's 1 lap of racing to go. No, he hasn't heard it. It's 1 lap of racing to go. And he thinks he's won the world title.
But crazy enough, Tupelik gets back on the wheel of Eli Iserbyt and actually stays there until the final of the race. He sprints off the front, and the story would have been perfect if he'd actually won it a second time.
Tupelik gonna win this world title. He thought he won it before. He opens up the sprint now. Iserbyt's going with him. They are sliding all over the place. Iserbyt's now trying to challenge. Tupelik is trying to drive to the finish line. They look across. Iserbyt is going to be the world champion. Belgium goes wild. Tupelik's disappointed. Eli Iserbyt is the world champion. Tupelik takes the silver medal.
But unfortunately, Eli had other plans, and he sprinted past and took the win. A day Tupelik would never forget, as she said this: "Maybe I could have won without the mistake, but anything can happen in a race." If there are more moments like this that we missed, we'd love to hear them down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing to stay up to date. Thank you for watching.